Hello, everybody.
Hello.
We are live and we are recording and we are streaming and everything is set up to go. Good afternoon. Happy Monday. Hello, Mark. Hello, Brian. How was the weekend?
Pretty good.
Hectic. Okay, good.
We had a big party for my son in the house with lots of young people running around and eating lots of food.
Okay, cool. Let me just get this out of the way. Okay, cool. We are streaming live. Hello to everybody on Twitch. Hello to everybody on YouTube. Lots of little fun things to talk about today on the TrixtaChess live stream update. We are 6 days ago. We went live for 12 hours. We streamed the initial build out of TrixtaChess. We then saw you all on Thursday again, I believe, where we gave you an update on the games, that you could play and everything else. And we have some more things, some more fun things to tell you about today. So Mark, do you want to kick us off on that?
Yeah, sure. So firstly, I'm wearing my Trickster cap for now, just to talk to the audience a bit about what Trickster does. So people that follow, I know 12 hours is long, but if you jump through the 12 hour, or if you hang around, you would have noticed we have some very interesting tools that we use to build our TrixtaChess. And that's the underlying Trickster platform. And just to give you a bit more technical background about it, what's different about it is that it doesn't really have much code in it. It has a different, we call it an abstraction. All types of new ways of building software is an abstraction. Code is an abstraction. So we have a new way to do things. And I won't go into all the details of how it works in this stream, but we use those tools to build Trickster, and interspersed in with that is some AI. So some people would ask in the chat, is this vibe coding? And the answer is no, this is not vibe coding at all, because when you vibe coding often refers to like single shot and then additional shots of adjusting your application. We didn't do it that way. We used our own Trickster tools. And in speaking to Barry, who runs the technical products, Barry felt that we used about 70% human and 30% AI. But we are continually improving the underlying tool system of Trickster, and our goal is to make it much more automated over the next couple of months, so that building something like this, instead of 12 hours, maybe we could do it in about 1 or 2 hours to get to that stage. And maybe in one day we could go really, really far if we had some planning in advance. So in the last few days, not only are we working on TrixtaChess, but we're also improving the underlying tool set as well to make it easier and easier for us to keep building. So yeah, that's just some background on Trickster. Cool. Coming back to TrixtaChess. I'm sure you'll probably have to help me out here, but I know on Friday we did quite a few things. So historically in ChessCube, we had something called paper, which was where the movers appear, and you could have chat as well in that area. And I know we made some upgrades to that. We moved to figurine notation. Yeah, so that's looking quite cool.
I'm gonna share my screen as you talk through that. Maybe we can just go through cool. The ideas board and see where things have moved. Give me a second to get that up.
And the team didn't only use the ideas board; they fixed up lots of little things here and there that weren't even in the ideas board. Cleaning things up, debugging certain things.
Cool. I've got my screen on screen, Mark. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So let's have a look. Okay. So things that I can see in live right now, the big one I see here is the ELO rating system. I'll open that. Maybe you can talk us through that, Mark. I know this is still a work in progress at the moment, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the ELO system earlier today, and I was like, we were testing it out a little bit, and the ELOs didn't change as rapidly. I mean, I won quite a few games against a player whose name will go unmentioned, and their rating went down a little bit, and my rating went up a little bit. So in the ELO, you have, I mean, everyone who plays online knows there's an ELO, but how it works is the first so many number of games, you tend to be more volatile, and it wasn't moving in a volatile fashion. So they actually took ELO off, but I see it's come back again. Cool. So what is my ELO now?
I currently see that
1220.
Yeah, Torian is the highest rated person on TrixtaChess right now.
That looks suspicious.
Very suspicious. And then the lowest is somebody
Orion works in our
Yes,
team, by the way.
Barry, who also works on our team, who you've met before on last week's
Okay.
stream.
He's more honest.
He's a
Just
little
teasing
bit more
Corinne.
honest. Yeah, he's 1169. Which is, it's a good rating. It's a good rating to start. Brian just popped up in the list at 1220, which I suspect we could probably add 1,000, ELO points to that over the next week or so, as Brian plays out. So
Yeah. So so we're still testing the velocity of the changes, but it's looking like it's I see it's come back to life. So that's very cool. And then time. Is time back on again? Because time was working, but there were like 1 or 2 little glitches, I think, that I know they were working on.
Yeah, so this is still in the work in progress board.
Oh, so it's gone back to work in progress, but it was live for a while on the site. Yeah, so that's cool. So I'm assuming by tomorrow we'll have time working much better. So time, obviously, I mean, everyone knows how time works in a chess clock. Like if it's your move, your time is running down and your opponent's is stopped, and vice versa. If it's their move, their time runs down. And also with time, one thing we did implement previously in Chess-Q, well, a lot of people didn't believe it, I think, was that you were penalized by having bad latency. It's actually very hard to prove because it looks wrong sometimes, because you might be the one having the bad latency too. And then you might see things differently to how you should because your latency is so bad. So then you think the other person's got bad latency and you do. So there's a lot of little maneuvering we can do. I mean, the way we build Trickster itself, it makes it easier for us to manage time, because it's got really powerful underlying messaging capabilities, including time and presence.
We most probably should make it more transparent. I mean, I see it even on Leech. Suddenly my time runs out. So maybe some, red blinking thing if it's lost connection to the server or something, to make it obvious you're the one who's, Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. And the nice thing is we can add these little items like pretty much during the day. If we like something, we can make a change and go live with it. So, but time is, you have to be very careful, because time stamping, I think we used to call it, it's a black art. So we have to manage it carefully, and yeah. But I like the idea of an indicator, because it would be good to know that you're the one that has the bad latency.
Yeah.
But obviously, when you have messaging going backwards and forwards, if you've disconnected for a while, you don't necessarily know. So then we send heartbeats backwards and forwards to see where you're at, and but inevitably, if you and your opponents have good latency, then it's all good. So so time's close. I mean, I know they've been working on it, so I think it's pretty close. Just maybe some debugging.
Yeah, if I could jump in here, Mark. I recall back in the day in ChessCube, we'd often get emails into ChessCube support saying, I lost in time when it was my opponent's move, because in your eyes you're seeing that their clock is running down. But we do know that netcode has improved incredibly since then, right? And I see that we have a message in here that some Phoenix thing is going to make this a whole lot easier. So I guess that those messages will eventually go through to say, you're the one that's lagging, you're the one that's disconnected, you've lost some time, right?
Yeah, for the audience, Phoenix, our systems are built on top of Erlang and Elixir, and Phoenix is the messaging layer that we use. Super powerful. It's used in products like WhatsApp, for example. Cool.
I see we get a free 1,000 milliseconds or 1 second of latency. I think that's very fair to people.
Okay, is that too long? Maybe.
It's also a question of, I mean, people might game it. So we'll have to monitor. People could give themselves that extra, programmers, give themselves that extra second, which gets annoying in Bullet. So.
Yeah, I think an interesting idea is we can have an audit trail at the end of the game. You can click an audit if you want to see what actually happened, whose latency did what during every move, so that we can kind of prove to you, or you can prove to yourself that that you weren't cheated out of, because people always jump to the conclusion they've been cheated. Not everyone, but occasionally people get that feeling, and it does feel that way sometimes. It just seems.
Just a reminder to everybody watching live, or if you are re-watching the stream back at some point. You can actually come into the TrixtaChess community roadmap and suggest an idea yourself. We can see that tickets, there's a user called Board Gordon, Constantina07, Brian, we know what Brian is. We can see that tickets suggested by the community is actually flowing through this system, right? So if you have got an idea, send it in, suggest an idea. upvote it yourself. Others will upvote you if they think it's a great idea, and we'll eventually pick it up and move it through the system if we feel it's a great idea as well. So
Yeah. Just one thing. Do you think we need an archive? We need to archive some tickets off the live at some point, or do you think we just have a long list?
We probably will need an archive at some point because we do want to keep the live list fresh, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's fresh because the latest
At the
items
top,
at the top. So maybe it doesn't matter
Right.
that much. But if it got unbearably long, I think it might make sense because
What we could maybe do is have a paper trail. So to say it got moved from, ideas to work in progress to done to live. We can kind of see the dates it's moved. That way it does kind of give you an idea of when it went into the system as well. Cool.
Yeah. Should we jump into friends maybe?
So one of the cool things that we've launched, Mark, I'll let you share the news here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you can add a friend by clicking on their name. And you can also go into your friends list, your friends menu, and you could email a friend, or you can copy a link and just send it by some kind of text message, WhatsApp or something else, or iMessage to your friend to get them to join. And when they do click on it and they join, they actually link to you. Then they become part of your friends list.
So I just sent out a friend request to Brendan in the Cube Cafe. We can kind of see the requests, around here in your friends menu. The friends request was sent. If I did have any pending requests, it would be right now. Nobody's asked to be my friend, but I do have a couple of friends already, so don't feel too bad for me. I can see everybody that's in my friends list. I can message them or challenge them right here. In fact, Brian and I have already exchanged messages earlier. My mind was blown when Brian sent me a message because we've never had persistent messages inside of the old chess cube, and now we have them inside of TrixtaChess as well.
Oh, that's true.
It's pretty cool to see. You'll have a long sort of history with messages with your friends. We'll expand on this over time. Maybe you can share games in here that's embedded in here. Maybe you could play right from here. Maybe we can do media uploads, so you can send a voice message or something. These are all things that we'll look at over time as we expand through the system. So you can send everybody friends. Just a reminder of how I did that is, wherever you are, wherever you see players, you can have a look at them in the Cube Cafe, click their name. I've already sent this one to, request to be friends, or they've sent me a request. I'll send Fritz a request to be his friend as well, and then we get a little notification saying that we are awaiting Fritz's response.
Cool. Yeah. So, the way that we like to build is we like to get core functionality in place. And then once it's in place, we can test it. We can test the UX, and then we'll constantly be upgrading the UX. So with friends, and we need better messaging for certain things to tell you that somebody's made a request. Some things do pop up and show you. Other things light up. So we'll find ways to improve the UX. And the nice thing about TrixtaChess and Trickster is when we see something we want to make a change to, we can do it really quickly. Sometimes
exactly. This is just to talk to that point. I recall in last week, Brian had a comment of what were the colors in the Cube Cafe, because there was some blue, there was some green, there was some orange. We've simplified that literally almost in real time, that if somebody's on your friends list, it updates in real time to show they've gone green, so you know who your friends are. And if they are not on your friends list yet, they show as white. So you may have seen, if you were watching the stream, that I just accepted my best friend's friend request. And they immediately went green on my side. So it's a very quick way to see who's in your friends list and who's not.
Cool. And then also, let's go into the chat part of this. The one thing that I did the other day, I sent a message and I made a misspelling, and I wanted to fix it and I couldn't because there was no way to edit my message.
So I'm sending a message now saying, hello, Chess Cube. I've now realized that that's incorrect because we've renamed our application. So we can go in and now edit Hey Mark. Okay, so
well, there you go.
We're going to highlight, we're basically hovering over the message as you can, if you've used Discord or anything like that. Click the pencil icon and come in and change it to TrixtaChess.
Is there any time limit? Like you can't go back an hour to change, or is it within a certain amount of time?
That's a good question.
Yeah, we can find out on that, but I don't think we have the specifics of that just yet, but we do. I mean, if you do make a mistake, you probably want to edit it fairly quickly, right?
Yeah, that's the usual, and then it leads to other weirdness if they change it way after the fact and people responded.
Absolutely.
So
yes, Yeah, so I think we're gonna. I mean, again, that's really easy to put in. We can just check the timestamp, and if it's more than like 5 minutes, sorry, that's disabled.
One major thing I'm seeing in the chat right now, Mark, is I'm seeing a whole bunch of flags on the people list.
Yes.
When did we throw that in?
I'm thinking that was on Friday. I've forgotten actually.
So
yes, I've got my Lithuanian
flag. My South African flag. I can see my friend Brian. He's got his South African flag as well. Yeah.
I mean, it used to be one of the best features is country themed rooms. So yeah, just get your country going, and then eventually, when we get the country rooms going, then you can chat.
When we start seeing quite a lot of the same flag, we're gonna open a country room for that. So I think the South African room should almost be ready based on the amount of flags in this list.
Yeah.
So Brian, I see you never chose Spanish or US flag.
Oh, I'm based here, so
just checking. I'm not based in Lithuania, but I do have a passport.
One thing I'd like to talk about, a highly requested feature, Mark and Brian, if the two of you don't mind starting a game, is the heavily requested pre-move feature, which is putting as well.
Yes.
So I'll just wait for your game to show up in the list, and then we can spectate it on your side. In fact, maybe challenge me, Mark. So then I can show it from the game point of view.
Yeah, no, do that. Do it that way.
Let me just get to the right place. Or maybe you challenge me.
Okay. Are you seeking right now? You're not. No.
No, okay. I can.
There we go.
Okay.
I like that it's green. I can see my friends at a very quick glance. Okay, so Mark, you're probably going to have your pre-move already set. You probably know exactly which way you want to go. Yeah, so I'm going to try to do one of Andrew Martin's London opening systems over here. So I've pre-moved my bishop up there. I'm probably going to make a ton of mistakes.
That's not even a pre-move.
That is such a blunder. I'm sorry. If you are watching, please don't judge.
I'm just doing some
pre-moves. This is just for testing, right?
Yeah.
Oh no! What have I done? This is why we shouldn't pre-move.
You didn't even pre-move, Sean. No excuses. I've seen it live.
Okay. I feel bad, but I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm going to give you a chance.
No, please don't.
I've pre-moved a bad move just to see what happens.
Okay, no, that's cool. Yeah. Pre-move is cool. And then how did you handle, or that's still a work in progress, pre-move promotions? Can you select?
Yeah, so let's maybe Mark, if you maybe wanted to capture one, or let me push one of my pawns through. We can have a look at what that looks like. Yeah, so maybe don't capture this one. Okay, so we still have the queen, that auto promotes here.
Yeah, but did you pre-move that, Sean?
I believe I did. I believe I did. Yeah, I did pre-move it. Yeah, let's have a look to see. So, Mark, if you don't capture that, okay, never mind. That's okay. I'll capture it. Just don't take the rook off. Yeah.
I'll just checkmate you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's get this going.
So. Yeah, I think the idea with pre-move promotion is you should be able to hold down. Okay, is that what you did this time?
This time it was not a pre-move. So on the pre-move, it auto promoted my pawn to a queen. Now that I haven't pre-moved, I get the choice. Do I want a queen, a rook, a bishop, a knight? Yeah.
But it should give you the choice, even if you.
What Brian is saying is on Lichess, the system that he likes is there's a setting to say if you pre-move to a promotion, what piece do you want?
Oh, it's a setting. Okay, cool.
Well, I think I'm not sure. I think if you hold control, but anyway, we can look into implementation. If it's a control and a promotion, then the piece thing shows up. Otherwise, it just chooses the queen.
I'm going to send Mark a draw request.
Which kind of makes sense.
This game has got draw written all over it, right?
That looks very drawish. Okay, yeah. I'll cut
that. One thing before we leave this page, something that. People might have noticed is we've kind of moved away from your standard notation. Maybe, Mark, this is something you can talk to. I know you mentioned it briefly in the last stream that you?
Yeah. So it's figurine. This is called figurine notation. So those little figurines. So there's a little figurine of a knight and a little figurine of a bishop, and so on. That's standard algebraic, figurine notation that's in books and magazines these days. Not all. I mean, some still use traditional, just like letters. The nice thing is it's more international. So like, a knight in English would be an N, but in German it would be a T for turn,
Right.
and stuff like that. So this just makes it more international. And I mean, I prefer it. I'm just so used to it, but some people may not. They may find it confusing. So we can definitely have settings later where you can choose the different way. You can even use Old English notation.
All right.
Knight to King's Bishop. Knight. How's it go again? Knight to Queen's Bishop 3. Knight to QB3. Capital Q, capital B. 3. Yeah. So, but for now we have this, and so I quite like that. That's how we used to do it in the chess group days.
I am getting absolutely roasted in the stream comments for blaming the stream on those pre-moves, but the pressure is immense. I have to tell you.
It is tough. I know. I'm sweating too on the side.
Cool. And then we got moving into the last 9 minutes of the stream, but we do have some other amazing news.
Okay, I'll intro this for you, Sean.
You'll tee it up for me, Mark.
Yeah. So, obviously we built a version of TrixtaChess based to some large degree on what we did in ChessCube, giving us some guidance at the very least. But and obviously we focus on building functionality first, and then UX and UI later. But what was very clear to me over the weekend was it doesn't feel like ChessCube in the way that ChessCube looked and felt in the old days. And we need to differentiate by being more like gamesy and fun and colorful. So Sean and I, did some work over the weekend, and Sean did additional work today to come up with some designs that are not exactly like ChessCube, but much more similar to what it used to be. So Sean, maybe you can show some of the designs that you've been building up in the last couple of
Right, so let's have a look. This is current TrixtaChess, right? Which, we think looks great. It's quite modern. It does remind you of some elements of ChessCube, but we wanted to push it even further to get it closer to what ChessCube was the goal that Mark kind of set upon my desk. And this is what we have. So let's start with the community roadmap. This is a screen that all of you are used to. In fact, let's go over to chat. And the main things we're looking at here are the sort of, left-hand side panels. This should remind a lot of old ChessCubers from the old ChessCube. So if you hover over them, you can see we have play tournaments, which is coming soon. The watch menu, we've got the rankings, we've got chat, we've got your friends, and we've got the ideas board that we saw earlier, right? But it still wasn't quite there, we felt. Like, just changing these icons and adding these colors didn't quite take it all the way to what we wanted. So what we did was we added the ability to switch out your background. So for now, we have 20 backgrounds that you can choose from. The one I absolutely love is Coral Sunrise. And
maybe that should be the default.
Maybe. And if we go back there, you can feel this warmth of color and emotion coming through, right? I'd love to know what people watching this in the stream think about this. No,
it's too alerting for me. It's not at all restful.
Not restful at all.
They're all different.
Yeah, exactly. I would choose something a bit less red.
A bit less red.
Try and find
let's have a
something.
look.
Sean,
let's have a look. So let's go with Brian's idea of something less red. Brian.
Yeah, a hue of blue, some nice, something like that. Well, Q blue. Even,
so Leah on the TrixtaChess team does love
cyan reef.
Let's go cyan reef. Okay. So if you look, there's quite a lot of blue in there, but where it really does pop is when you're in a game, right? So if I bring up a game and kind of stretch this out, it kind of does feel a lot more, you can feel that sort of a live interface behind you, especially with these buttons and everything. So we're giving everybody a choice. You can choose one of 20 different backgrounds. Maybe over time we'll allow the ability for you to upload your own and customize your own TrixtaChess further. So that's exactly what we're going for. Is we got the old watch menu back where you can kind of scroll and you can filter by bullet games or rapid games, classical games. You can see, who's playing whom, how many people are watching the game. All very exciting. You can also see the time control up here as well. So this should make it feel quite chess cubey, I feel. Especially with the different backgrounds, right? So if I go in and maybe choose something that stands out quite a bit, maybe the solar gold, you can come in and see what that looks like. Just adds the warmth and the colors back into TrixtaChess that we love so much about ChessCube. Yep.
Cool. I see in the chat, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, but MOU Dude, Dude asked, is there a Play Store app for TrixtaChess? And effectively, the question really is, are we building mobile? And ultimately, so there's web mobile and then there's native. So for now, we are going to improve TrixtaChess so that it's more responsive. I think we've already made some changes, but I think we'll do more to make it more responsive in mobile. And then the question would then be, are we going to build native apps that run, in the App Store and Play Store? And the answer is yes, we are going to do that, and maybe more, maybe in other kinds of environments too. So, I mean, we're just going through some key and core elements right now, but getting it at least working on web mobile is a first step for us to get that moving.
Yeah, so just to recap, some of the big ticket items for today would of course be the ELO rating system that we're fine-tuning and putting out there right now. We've got time controls coming. We'll start with the 3-minute timer in games. Mark and I had a quick game earlier. It was pretty fun. It adds that stress back to looking at the move versus killing out time, which was quite fun. There's a version of it there. We just have a few minor tweaks to do. And then, of course, the ability to add friends, send friend requests, message your friends, and also the new redesign that we should have coming this week as well. Yep.
Cool. Yeah, and we also are going to start a marketing campaign to bring people to the site. We're just holding back until we get the very basics in place that we think we need. We're also speaking to some chess players from the past who worked on old ChessCube to see if they want to come and participate with us and be moderators and players, just to come in, because we want to make sure that when people are looking for a game, they find a game. In line with that, like if somebody puts out a seek in the chat room, and if another person puts out a seek in the chat room, potentially we're going to auto-connect them to start a game. And so we want to have like a seek graph at some point in the next week, maybe in 2 weeks max. So we want to find ways to get seeking and matching and accepting like more streamlined, so it's like much faster. I mean, initially it's easier because people's ratings won't matter yet, but at some point we'll obviously allow you to set like rating ranges of who you want to play, that type of thing. So what's interesting is, when you launch an online chess site, you don't get all the features in place at the same time. You have to assume that you don't have many people in the beginning, and you don't have many time controls, you don't have many variants, because there isn't the volume to justify that. But we need to find ways to kind of make it active. And then the more active it gets, the more time controls we're going to have, the more volume you can have. We can add tournaments at some point. Initially, tournaments would probably just be once a day, and then later we can do 2-3 times a day. And eventually, when if we have a lot of volume at some point, we can do sit and goes and that type of thing. So we're just trying to go step by step, and and then simultaneously, just to go back to my first point, we're still adding more and more Trickster tools internally, and that'll help us build faster and faster. So so I'm wearing 2 hats.
Cool. Mark, I'm super stoked at the updates that has come over the last few days, and it's incredible to see the team working this fast and pushing updates out every day. It's so exciting. Yep.
Very
Absolutely. Cool. Thanks to my ChessCube OGs. Good to see you again, and we'll do our next in
2 days. Yeah,
Wednesday night.
That's right. Yeah.
Cool.
Please invite a friend. Drop by our streams again. Drop by the Cube Cafe.
Yeah, reserve your username. If you had a username you loved, make sure you get on the site and reserve it.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you